Welcome to NEET Biology MCQs educational channel. Are you a NEET aspirant? Get ready to challenge your brain with high-quality MCQs based on the NCERT book. Sharpen your concepts, enhance application skills, and master assertion reasoning and statement-based questions. This is your ultimate MCQ power zone for NEET success. What is considered a vital process for the survival of a species? A. Growth. B. Respiration. C. Reproduction. D. Excretion. Correct answer is C. Reproduction. Explanation: while growth, respiration, and excretion are essential for the survival of individual organisms, they do not ensure the continuation of a species. Reproduction is vital for the survival of a species, highlighting that individuals may die, but species survive through reproduction. Growth, A, and respiration, B, are necessary for maintaining life processes within an organism, and excretion, D, helps in removing metabolic waste, but none of these processes contribute directly to species continuity the way reproduction does. What does the survival pattern of organisms indicate about individuals versus species? A. Individuals and species survive equally. B. Only species are immortal. C. Individuals always die, but species continue unless extinct. D. Species also die quickly without reproduction. Correct answer is C. Individuals always die, but species continue unless extinct. Explanation: individual organisms have limited lifespans, but reproduction allows the species to persist for millions of years. Option C best captures this idea. Option A is incorrect because individuals do not live forever. Option B inaccurately suggests species are immortal. Option D misses the point that reproduction supports species continuity, not rapid extinction. Why does sexual reproduction provide a survival advantage? A. It ensures longer lifespans. B. It increases mutation rate. C. It creates new genetic variants. D. It avoids natural selection. Correct answer is C. It creates new genetic variants. Explanation: the sexual reproduction results in genetic variation, which enhances the ability of a species to adapt to changing environments, thus providing a survival advantage. Options A and D are incorrect because reproduction doesn't directly impact lifespan or bypass natural selection. Option B is misleading. Sexual reproduction may facilitate variation, but it doesn't necessarily increase the mutation rate, which is mostly random. The phrase, test tube fertilization and intra-ovarian pollination, implies which scientific achievement? A. Modern cloning. B. Controlled plant breeding techniques. C. Human IVF. D. Genetic mutation. Correct answer is B. Controlled plant breeding techniques. Explanation: these terms, as used in the option B, pertain to Maheshwari's experiments in plant reproduction, where fertilization and pollination were conducted under artificial or semi-controlled conditions to improve plant breeding. Cloning, A, and human IVF, C, are human reproductive technologies, unrelated to Maheshwari's botanical work. Genetic mutation, D, involves changes at the DNA level, which is not implied by the terms used. Why is tissue culture referred to as a landmark in science? A. It is easy to perform. B. It was discovered by Western scientists. C. It transformed plant breeding and research. D. It replaced sexual reproduction. Correct answer is C. It transformed plant breeding and research. Explanation: tissue culture is called a scientific landmark because it revolutionized plant science by enabling the artificial growth of plant tissues, helping in mass propagation and genetic studies. The ease of performance, A, is not the reason it's significant. Option B is factually inaccurate in this context since Maheshwari, an Indian scientist, promoted it. Option D is incorrect because tissue culture is an alternative, not a replacement, for sexual reproduction. What does anthropogenic extinction refer to? A. Extinction due to aliens. B. Natural extinction events. C. Human-caused extinction. D. Disease-based extinction. Correct answer is C. Human-caused extinction. Explanation: the prefix anthropo refers to humans. So, anthropogenic extinction specifically means extinction resulting from human activities such as habitat destruction, pollution, or overexploitation. Alien-based extinction, A, is science fiction. Natural events, B, and disease-based extinction, D, fall outside the scope of human influence and thus are not classified as anthropogenic. The purpose of human reproductive health discussion is to A. Increase awareness of genetics. B. Explain menopause. C. Prevent reproductive ill health. D. Describe population control. Correct answer is C. Prevent reproductive ill health. Explanation: the focus of reproductive health discussions, especially in academic texts, is on promoting overall well-being by preventing reproductive illnesses and disorders. While options A and B touch on specific aspects of human biology, they are narrower in scope. Option D, though related, emphasizes population management rather than health. Hence, option C is correct because the unit centers on improving reproductive health and preventing its associated problems. What field of taxonomy did Maheshwari influence? A. Behavioral taxonomy. B. Morphological taxonomy. C. Genetic taxonomy. D. Embryological taxonomy. Correct answer is D. Embryological taxonomy. Explanation: Maheshwari's major contribution to taxonomy was through his pioneering use of embryological characters, which provided critical insights into plant classification. While morphological and genetic taxonomy are important areas, they were not the domains Maheshwari primarily influenced. Behavioral taxonomy generally pertains to animals rather than plants. Therefore, the correct answer is D, as it directly aligns with his emphasis on developmental features in plant systematics. Why might species still face extinction despite reproduction? A. High birth rates. B. Mutation overload. C. Natural or human-driven threats. D. Overactive immune systems. Correct answer is C. Natural or human-driven threats. Explanation: reproduction ensures continuation only in stable environments. Despite being able to reproduce, species may still go extinct due to factors like habitat destruction, climate change, or hunting, classified as natural or anthropogenic, human-driven threats. High birth rates, A, or mutation overload, B, are not immediate extinction causes. Option D is irrelevant in this context. Hence, C accurately explains extinction despite reproductive capability. If Maheshwari had not focused on tissue culture, which area might have seen slower progress? A. Biophysics. B. Ecology. C. Plant breeding and propagation. D. Evolutionary psychology. Correct answer is C. Plant breeding and propagation. Explanation: Maheshwari's innovations in tissue culture significantly advanced methods of plant breeding and vegetative propagation. These techniques allow for rapid cloning of plants and development of hybrids. Biophysics and evolutionary psychology are unrelated to his botanical work. Ecology is broader and not the primary field impacted by tissue culture. Thus, option C is correct because it directly benefited from his contributions. What might be the link between sexual reproduction and diversity? A. Asexual reproduction increases genetic diversity. B. Reproduction stabilizes ecosystems. C. Sexual reproduction creates genetic variability, aiding survival. D. Diversity is unrelated to reproduction. Correct answer is C. Sexual reproduction creates genetic variability, aiding survival. Explanation: Sexual reproduction results in the mixing of genes, creating new combinations and thereby enhancing genetic variability within a species. This variability is crucial for adaptation and survival. Asexual reproduction, A, produces clones, not diversity. Option B is an indirect effect, not the genetic mechanism itself. D is incorrect. Hence, C correctly describes how reproduction fosters diversity. If a scientist today wants to use embryological features in plant classification, whose foundational work would they be following? A. Gregor Mendel. B. Charles Darwin. C. Panchanan Maheshwari. D. Carl Linnaeus. Correct answer is C. Panchanan Maheshwari. Explanation: Among the listed scientists, only Panchanan Maheshwari emphasized embryological traits in plant taxonomy. Mendel focused on inheritance patterns, Darwin on evolution, and Linnaeus on morphological classification. Therefore, C is correct because Maheshwari laid the groundwork for embryology-based taxonomy in plants. A biologist developing artificial seed technology would most likely rely on A. Maheshwari's intra-ovarian pollination techniques. B. Mitochondrial DNA. C. Darwin's theory. D. Mendel's bee experiments. Correct answer is a Maheshwari's intra-ovarian pollination techniques. Explanation: Artificial seed development involves advanced reproductive techniques, including intra-ovarian pollination and tissue culture, both areas where Maheshwari made significant contributions. Mitochondrial DNA, B, and Mendel's experiments, D, are unrelated to artificial reproduction methods. Darwin's theory, C, concerns evolution, not practical techniques. Thus, A is the most applicable. How would you explain the concept of species continuity using Maheshwari's work? A. His work was on cloning only. B. His techniques helped conserve rare plants through controlled reproduction. C. He worked on fossil identification. D. He studied animal behavior. Correct answer is B. His techniques helped conserve rare plants through controlled reproduction. Explanation: Maheshwari's advancements in intra-ovarian pollination and tissue culture enabled controlled reproduction in plants, aiding conservation efforts. This supports species continuity, especially for endangered flora. Cloning, A, was not his primary focus, and options C and D are unrelated to his field. Thus, B most accurately illustrates his role in preserving species. Which modern biotechnological method can be traced back to Maheshwari's experimental roots? A. CRISPR gene editing. B. IVF in animals. C. Plant tissue culture labs. D. Vaccine development. Correct answer is C. Plant tissue culture labs. Explanation: Maheshwari was a pioneer in plant tissue culture, a technique that forms the foundation of modern plant biotechnology labs. CRISPR and IVF are human or animal-focused technologies and not linked to his work. Vaccine development does not stem from plant reproductive studies. Therefore, C is the correct answer. Who is regarded as the father of plant tissue culture for proposing the concept that individual plant cells can grow independently under suitable conditions? A. F.C. Stewart. B. Panchanan Maheshwari. C. Gottlieb Haberlandt. D. Robert Hooke. Correct answer is C. Gottlieb Haberlandt. Explanation. In 1902, Austrian botanist Gottlieb Haberlandt proposed that plant cells are totipotent, meaning they have the potential to grow into a complete plant under appropriate conditions. Although he did not succeed experimentally, his visionary idea laid the theoretical foundation of plant tissue culture, earning him the title, Father of Plant Tissue Culture. Which Indian botanist pioneered test tube fertilization and embryo culture in angiosperms, significantly advancing plant tissue culture in India? A. J.C. Bose. B. Panchanan Maheshwari. C. M.S. Swaminathan. D. S.S. Bhojwani. Correct answer is B. Panchanan Maheshwari. Explanation. Panchanan Maheshwari is renowned for pioneering embryo culture and test tube fertilization in flowering plants, angiosperms, in India. His work enabled plant development from fertilized embryos in vitro, revolutionizing techniques in plant reproduction and hybrid seed production, making him a pioneer of plant tissue culture in India. Assertion. Gottlieb Haberlandt is called the father of plant tissue culture. Reason. He successfully grew entire plants from isolated plant cells in 1902. A. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. B. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. C. A is true, but R is false. D. A is false, but R is true. Correct answer is C. A is true, but R is false. Explanation. Gottlieb Haberlandt is indeed known as the father of plant tissue culture, but he did not succeed in growing whole plants from isolated cells. He only proposed the concept in 1902, which laid the theoretical foundation for future developments. Which of the following statements are correct about Panchanan Maheshwari? 1. He introduced test tube fertilization in flowering plants. 2. He laid the theoretical foundation of tissue culture in 1902. 3. He pioneered embryo culture techniques in India. 4. He successfully regenerated plants from carrot root cells. A. 1 and 3 only. B. 2 and 4 only. C. 1, 2, and 3 only. D. All of the above. Correct answer is A. 1 and 3 only. Explanation. Statements 1 and 3 are correct and describe Maheshwari's real contributions. Statement 2 refers to Haberlandt. Statement 4 refers to F.C. Stewart, who regenerated whole plants from carrot root cells. Match the following scientists' concepts with their correct contributions descriptions. Column 1, Scientist Concept. Column 2, Contribution Description. A. Gottlieb Haberlandt. 1. Proposed totipotency of plant cells. B. Panchanan Maheshwari. 2. Introduced test tube fertilization in flowering plants. C. Restriction enzymes. 3. Molecular scissors used to cut DNA at specific sites. D. Plasmid. 4. acts as a cloning vector in recombinant DNA technology. A. A1, B2, C3, D4. B. A1, B2, C4, D3. C. A2, B1, C3, D4. D. A1, B3, C2, D4. Correct answer. A is A1, B2, C3, D4. Explanation. Gottlieb Haberlandt proposed the idea that individual plant cells are totipotent, can develop into a full plant. Panchanan Maheshwari, known for test tube fertilization and embryo culture in angiosperms. Restriction enzymes, known as molecular scissors, they cut DNA at specific sequences. Plasmid, just small circular DNA molecule that serves as a vector to insert foreign DNA into host organisms.